Well, after an inconsistent start to the season, Mr. Tinkerman is at it again with his tactics, and we have decided to go full-on gegenpress in a completely new-looking formation that'll hopefully help us create more chances. Crystal Palace and West Ham await us today, and hopefully 6 points on the table. How's it going? Welcome back to some more Football Manager 26 and another part of the Manchester United beta save. We are officially 1 week away from full release, and I'm still trying to work out this game. It is a bit mind-baffling at the moment. I'm just trying to get week to week, game to game, try and actually play the matches. I keep tinkering with the tactics, and I'm hoping everything else will sort itself out later on. But yeah, Crystal Palace away from home today. Of course, the unbeaten Kings in real life. You know, very, very strong turnaround under Oliver Glasner. They're currently 7th in the league in this game. And then we take on West Ham, who are struggling in real life, but are 5th in this game. So two teams that are on the up, on the rise, and we're going to look to try and come out on top. Since you were last with me, we have played 3 matches. We beat Nottingham Forest 2-1 away from home. That was a good victory, I have to say, over Nottingham Forest away from home. We then looked like we were about to do the same to Spurs, but then in the last 10 minutes, 2 goals from Bentancur and Kudus sent Tottenham home with all 3 points. We then took on Everton, and similar story really. We were leading that match for quite a significant amount of time, but Carlos Alcaraz getting the goal in that one, meaning that we are currently 10th in the Premier League table, 16 points from 12 games. We're currently 7 points off the top 5. That's quite concerning. And actually, we're 5 points above the relegation zone. So we're closer to the relegation zone than the top 5 at the minute. Interestingly, Newcastle are really struggling at the moment. They have sacked Eddie Howe. So that is very interesting, isn't it? If you look at the fixtures, you know, they had a very good run at the start of the season, but they've struggled since then. They've particularly struggled over the last 5 matches, not winning any of them. So, yeah, Eddie Howe is gone. That was my other idea for the beta save, but I chickened out and I went for Manchester United. And then every other YouTuber has done Man United. So that was a mistake, wasn't it? But fingers crossed we can have a positive performance today. But I hear you ask, what is this new tactic that you speak of? And to be fair, it's come about because I feel like we're not getting the best out of Cunha and Mbeumo, and I think they need to be more central. Bruno's not had a great season, so I'm trying to just adjust things a little bit more to our advantage. So in possession, we're currently going for a flat back 7. A 2-5-2-1 is kind of what it's looking like. I guess you can call it a 4-3-3 with the wing backs just pushing a little bit higher up. Although these look like they are defensive midfielders, Mainoo's a bit of a deep line playmaker. He will hold position, but Bruno Fernandes is there as a box-to-box playmaker, so he will really be making those runs, getting into these more forward positions, which I can show you on the visualizer here. In possession, you can see in the attacking third. Hang on, what's going on here? That's not right. That's in possession. Yeah, there we go. In possession, you can see Bruno Fernandes is almost on the same level as Mbeumo, and Cunha. But then he can very much help out defensively and track back. But he is typically going to be a third attacking midfielder, even though the team shape doesn't suggest that. I think that's what you have to learn with this year's Football Manager, is that is not really our formation. That is just a sort of general position that you're putting them in. The player roles make the big difference now of how these players respond and how they look. But yeah, I think almost having a front three strikers at the top, Fernandes joining the attack, makes us much more dangerous attacking wise. And then out of possession, you can see we drop those wing backs back to normal full backs. We have Casemiro dropping into a back five, and then we have Fernandes and Menu doing the job. We need to swap them to round, I think. We want him to be the presser and him to be the wide covering. I think that should work. Yes. Okay. I think that looks better now. That should hopefully help on the visualizer a little bit. Menu sort of covering this area. Fernandes pressing forward. Matheus Cunha, Sesko and Mbeumo should really be looking to stay up top when we're out of possession. If we look at the team instructions, if we go out of possession, you can see even when it's in this back position, Sesko's coming back, but Cunha and Mbeumo, they're ready to just push forward and develop counter-attacks. So that's the idea anyway. We will see what comes of it. This is the team that we've selected to go against Crystal Palace today. Grabora will start and go with Dalot, Martinez, Maguire and Spinazzola in defence. Shaw and De Ligt are coming back from injury. But they're not quite match fit just yet. Fernandes, Casemiro and Menu as our defensive midfielders, with Cunha and Mbeumo supporting Sesko up top. So let's get ourselves into the action then and see how we get on against this quite interesting Crystal Palace side. There's a lot of good players in there. They're managed well. And they've got a lot of danger in there. Mark Gahey is somebody that I've got my eyes on for season 2. Can we bring him in to lead our defence going forward alongside De Ligt? Maybe even give us the option of going for a back 3, which would mean that we wouldn't have to rely on Casemiro to be in the team now. Casemiro's quite old, so I would kind of like to replace him fairly soon. But we'll see. We'll see what happens here. It's all going to hopefully go absolutely swimmingly well. But Crystal Palace in 7th, as I say. We're sort of hanging on to the top 10 as it stands. Going to put the dynamic highlights back on. And we will see how we get on in this match. As I say, it's been a bit of an up and down season so far. We've had some moments where we've looked unbeatable, and we've had some moments where defensively we've been awful. So it's really tough to have a gauge on actually where we are at as a football club at the moment. But this is what I mean. Look at this. Going forward now, we look so dangerous. We've got the overload in those front areas with Cunha, Mbeumo and Sesko. And if I can get a top quality striker in January that can bang in the goals, I think it could be a game changer. Because I'm still not convinced Sesko is that player, but we'll see anyway. I think today is a big indicator of how well we're going to do, because traditionally these should be 2 football matches that Manchester United win. It's not feeling like that's terribly likely today. Grabara gets it away. Cunha's there. Cunha holds up the play beautifully, but again is beaten by the Crystal Palace defence. Martinez comes over to cover. He's had a lot of work on his legs over the last few matches, simply because we don't have the players to really replace him. Obviously, ideally, I would like to play Maguire and De Ligt as much as I can in sort of rotation with him. But yeah, he's sort of had to lead the way for us. So I'm hoping that that's not going to cause too many problems. Here's Cunha on the ball. Yep, fouled. Struggling for possession in this match, which is interesting, because certainly against Forest we had 80% possession in the first half. So yeah, all the little tinkering that you do with these tactics, it does make a big difference, and it's it's that constant insanity of you see something work well for a bit and then something goes wrong and you're like, right, I need to change it. So maybe we just need to stick with this for a while, maybe until January, and see where we are after that, because it seems like teams are going to score goals against us either way. We don't seem to be able to stop that happening unless we go really defensive, and then the goals dry up. So it's getting that balance right, isn't it? And that's the challenge. Dalot gets it to Martinez. Maguire. Ooh, I didn't like that at all. I don't like how we're being sort of pressed back here, but that's a good ball over the top to open up the play. And here's Mbeumo now, and Mbeumo is fouled, and that's a yellow card for Lerma now, and he's going to have to be careful because he's been quite physical in this first half. Adam Wharton to Mark Gahey. Now here's Kamada to Wharton, and look at this space that Adam Wharton's got now. This isn't good. Mark Gahey with the shot. Not who you'd expect to be shooting from that range. Here's Mbeumo. Now Martinez. Martinez forward. It's a good idea, but Cunha wasn't up to it, I'm afraid. Now, we've only had one shot in this match, and again, that in itself is very interesting, isn't it? Because that wasn't such a problem with our other tactic, but maybe now more than ever, you have to sort of adapt to how you play individual teams, and well, Crystal Palace will be very disappointed they've not scored there. And they'll be very disappointed that they're not ahead anyway, because they have been the better team by far in this match. Here's Mitchell. Yeah, it's away. Cunha tried to get it. Casemiro with another tackle, but Fernandez now booked. It's just getting a little bit schoolyardish, this game, which is a shame. Mitchell gets it to Wharton. Wharton again. We should be triggering that press much sooner, but just don't look like we've got any motivation today, which is really frustrating. And very, very nearly going 1-0 down there. This is not good. What I've tweaked for today's match is not working so far. And that is incredibly frustrating. Here's Fernandez. And will probably go and score and make me think that everything's going well again. But it's not really, is it? Spinazzola with the shot, and it's away. So I think that's only our second shot of the match. Good tackle from Fernandez. Bit risky, considering he's on a yellow card. If he took the man there, that would have been him off. Here's Richards with the shot from Munoz, and that is still 0-0. But as I say, Crystal Palace have very much been the better side here. Grabara grabbing the ball. But it's still 0-0, and that, I guess, is a positive, is we're still very much in this match. It's still 0-0, and we could be the ones to take the lead if we grab a goal here. That's poor. And it's just one of them matches, I think, where everybody's kind of not turned up. Here's Uke. Oof. It is coming, that Crystal Palace goal. Don't you worry about that. Might have to change things round at half-time. Maybe go back to basics. Go back to our other tactic for the rest of this match. Because this one's not working against Crystal Palace. Doesn't mean it's a bad tactic. Just means whatever we're doing isn't working. Well, that is offside, thankfully. A couple of minutes left before half-time. Be nice to score a goal just before half-time. Here's Fernandez, gets it to Cunha. Now here's Spinazzola. This is exactly where we should be threatening, but it's not quite happening. Here's Mitchell on the left-hand side. Will Crystal Palace be the ones to get a goal? Yes, they will. And we can't complain. That is exactly what was deserved in that first half. And we are definitely going to have to make some changes in the second half now. Because we're just losing the ball. Oh my God, we could be 2-0 down here. Oof. Wow. Offside, luckily. Looks like it is going to be half time. But maybe there is one more chance in it, because there's just over a minute to go in this first half. Fernandes. Martinez. And here's Diogo Dalot. Wow, what a chance that was. From absolutely nowhere. Fernandes into the middle. Nope, it's caught by Henderson. And yeah, I think that half-time whistle is going to blow. There it is. So it's half-time. Crystal Palace 1, Manchester United 0. And, well, show me something else. And yeah, let's go back to the original tactic and see what we can do here. Obviously very different to what we were doing. I think that's pretty much exactly what we had before. Cunha's not having a good game and he's looking anxious out there, so I'm thinking, why not Mbeumo on the right, Mbeumo on the left, Ahmad on the right. That seems good. We're going to bring Luke Shaw on. Going to bring De Ligt on, swap them round, and have our no-nonsense centre-back back. Yeah. Okay, back to basics. Make sure you confirm the changes, Joe. And let's get into the second half. We have made 3 changes at half-time. And I'm hoping that we are going to see a much better performance. Here's De Ligt. Here he is again. De Ligt gets it to Maguire. Now to Dalot. Here's Ahmad. Ahmad looking pretty good after coming on. Sesko gets it to Menu. And, well, at least we're getting a shot at goal. It wasn't a particularly powerful one. It didn't particularly trouble the goalkeeper. But we, at the very least, are in the right half of the pitch. Because, as I say, Palace were dominant in that first half. Should have been 2-3, 4-0 up. I guess we've got to be thankful that we're still very much in this at just 1-0 behind. De Ligt gets it to Harry Maguire. Now to Dalot. Dalot to Bruno Fernandes. Yeah, I'll tell you one thing I didn't do was check the out of possession tactics, and that the players aren't just all switching around willy-nilly. Yeah, Casemiro not having a great game. Good grab there from Grabara. 65 minutes on the clock now. Oh, it's a shot. What a save. Okay. All right, let's just double check all of this. Yeah, I mean, that looks fine. I guess Ruben Neves on for Casemiro. I'm going to bring Xerxes on. He hasn't really had much of an opportunity, has he? So I'm going to bring him on for Sesko, see if that can change things up a little bit. So Neves and Xerxes on. I've probably been quite harsh on Xerxes, not giving him a chance to prove that he could be the player that we want to lead the line, have that killer instinct. But yeah, my mind is spinning tactically. Here's Menu on the ball, gets it to Shaw. Now Neves Menu gets it out wide to Dalot. Neves. Now here's Ahmad to Menu. And that's one thing I did do in the other tactic, was discourage long shots. And maybe I need to do that in this one. Let's do that, in fact. Where's long shots? Is there anything on there about that? Shooting from distance, discourage. Yeah. Finding things in this game is still a problem. Daniel Munoz gets booked. So I think that's both centre-halves for Crystal Palace in the book now. Which might just mean that we get a little bit more slack going forward. Right, Menu. Oh, poor. Very poor. This could be all over now. Great defence there, clearly. Wow. Very, very fortunate. Still 1-0 down, and to be honest with you, barring a couple of little moments, we've really not looked like getting back into this. Here's Mbumo now. Gets it into Menu, and it's another long shot. What are you doing, son? Grabaro. Yeah, here's Ahmad. Now to Xerxes. Xerxes forward to Mbumo. Luke Shaw. Here's Ahmad again. Now Dalot. Come on, boys. That could have been the moment. Very much could have been. It's cleared. Somehow it's still 1-0. Oh, no. Here's Mitchell. Whips it in. No. Right, Menu. Still going. Gets it to Xerxes. Oh, that's out wide now to Dalot. Here's Ahmad. Oh, it's another long shot. They're just not listening to me. We don't want long shots. Well, that went out to play. Yeah, this is looking like the final highlight of the game. It's only 2 minutes of added time, which isn't a lot at all in this day and age. And we're just passing it back to the goalkeeper. Like, what are we doing? Yeah. And I think that line at the bottom sums that up well. Crystal Palace run out deserved winners. Well, positive news, I guess, is that our current transfer budget has been increased to £91 million. Bad news is we're already starting to get these little messages. Sack looms over Hannard, with West Ham up next. Ouch. Right, here we go then. Second match of the episode. We're going to persist with our formation from the last one. Oh, the only thing we've done is gone with Xerxes up top. De Ligt has returned in central defence. Everything else stays the same. But we're going to continue with this gegenpress, and well, we will see. But we might well get sacked after this. I don't know if there's board meetings in this game. I don't know if there's points targets. We've not been brought in for that sort of meeting yet, but yeah, this could be the end. It absolutely could be. Right. Come on, boys. Here's Souček on the ball. Oh, that was nearly 1-0 West Ham, and that would have been a disastrous start, wouldn't it? To be quite honest. Yeah, here's Rodriguez. Yeah. Oh, good from Xerxes now. Xerxes forward to Mbumo. Mbumo into Cunha. Come on, mate. Oh. Shame. Real shame. Here's Walker Peters. Walker Peters still going. Wan-Bissaka gets it to Somerville. Wan-Bissaka again. No. Not what we want. Not what we want, I'm afraid. De Ligt all the way back to Grabara, now to De Ligt. Here's Fernandez. Yes, this is good. Dalot still going. This is very good. Header! Oh, I thought Xerxes was going to put us 1-0 up there. Still only 6 minutes on the clock. But a positive start of at least getting a shot on target within the first 10 minutes. Obviously, it was a very, very different match against Crystal Palace. They dominated and we looked lost at points. Well, here we go. Somerville into the middle. Paqueta. Good save by Grabara there. Maguire gets it forward. No. Yeah, we're just really struggling for possession now, aren't we? Yeah. I guess maybe the team have just lost their identity. Too much chopping and changing. Which is why I stuck with this formation, which is what we've been going for the last few matches. Because I'm trying to be consistent, but... Here's Ward-Prowse into the middle. Oh, it's off the line. That was very, very close, wasn't it? Wow. Wan-Bissaka whips it in. It's headed away. Here's Walker Peters now. Wan-Bissaka again. Here's Somerville. Somerville on the ball. Come on, Somerville. Oh, it's off the post. Wow. Fernandez gets it to Mbumo. End of highlight. Wan-Bissaka. Now Ward-Prowse. Somerville. Oh, that's exactly what happened to Luke Shaw, didn't it? In one of the matches, he just playing and just collapses on the floor. Yeah, he is. He's injured. There's no doubt about that. So he's going to be coming straight off. Now, I think there's a bug in this game that when a player's off or going off injured, the substitution sort of doesn't happen straight away. Now, it might be, he's back up, might have been Somerville, so he might be still playing. Here's Bruno Fernandes now on that right-hand side. This is decent dribbling from him. This is very good dribbling from him, and it goes into the back of the net. Brian Mbumo with the goal. That was brilliant from Bruno Fernandes. Went for the shot himself. It bumbled back out, and Mbumo was there waiting, thankfully. And he puts it into the back of the net. 1-0 Manchester United. Come on. Right, Maguire gets it to Menu. Maguire again. De Ligt gets it forward to Dalot. No, not quite. De Ligt. Here's Xerxes. Xerxes forward to Diogo Dalot. Could have been 2-0. Isn't. Still less than 40 minutes on the clock, but we are looking better and better throughout this first half, which probably means West Ham are going to get a goal here. But that's good from Spinazzola now. Spinazzola. What can he do with it? Cuts inside. Here's Menu. Spinazzola again. Gets it to Fernandez, and that's over the bar. Naturally, more shots and more on target. Slightly more possession now. What's going on? Are we getting used to this tactic? Maybe we are. We didn't actually tweak it going into this one. Here's Rodriguez. And here's Souček. Okay. Half-time. 1-0 to Manchester United. We can give it another gear into the second half, I think. Cunha's again not turned up, has he? So I'm going to think Xerxes can go there. You know what? I'm going to give Balotelli a chance. Again, a player that we've not really given much of a chance, even though I know he was a hilarious signing. He wasn't meant to be a serious signing, but he is somebody that can finish, and that could be crucial. Apparently Fernandes isn't having a good game, but I sort of don't believe that. I'm going to give Luke Shaw the second half, though, instead of Spinazzola. So let's see what we can do now. Walker Peters. Here's Casemiro. Menu. Maguire forward. And here's Menu again. Luke Shaw gets it forward. Oh, that was close. That was close, wasn't it? I thought Balotelli might even get involved there. The number 54, as you do. Now, of course, if Balotelli scores in this game, then I'm a genius. It's saying remove the get stuck in vibes. I sort of disagree. I think that's been helping us out here. Fernandes forward to Dalot. This is a good run from Diogo Dalot, and this is exactly what he was meant to be doing. Dalot into the middle, and there's Luke Shaw. It's a good save. It's a good save, but that... it's just the vision starting to come through a little bit. Hermansen with the catch. Wow. Right, here's Fernandes. Menu. Menu gets it wide to Luke Shaw now. Luke Shaw on the ball. Ooh, nearly. Well, Luke Shaw's looked very good since coming on. That's a good sign. No. Not quite. Casemiro gets it to Menu. Menu to Xerxes. Menu again. Xerxes. Here's Shaw. No. Header over the bar. I sort of feel like we need that 2-goal cushion to not fall into the same trap we did against Everton and Tottenham. Will it happen though? Here's that Menu again. Menu looking quite tired out there, isn't he? Just doesn't seem to have the legs for 90 minutes. Dalot's doing quite well. Oh, nice ball to Dalot. Dalot into the middle, and it's Xerxes who puts it into the back of the net. I thought for a minute it was going to be Mario Balotelli, but I don't care. Joshua Xerxes has scored, and Dalot once again excellent on this right-hand side. Lovely ball into the middle with that low cross, and Xerxes puts it into the back of the net. And well, that is it. 2-0 is the score, and hopefully that is going to be us doing well going forward. I'm going to put Balotelli as a poacher and see if that'll put him a little bit further forward. Right. What do we want to do here? I think Menu needs to come off, doesn't he? So we'll swap Menu and Ruben Neves. Bruno Fernandes is looking quite aggressive apparently, but I don't really know who we could bring on for him at this point. I don't think Mason Mount can really do that role, and here he is anyway. Fernandes into the middle. Here's Xerxes. Fernandes over the bar. Yeah, good save. "15 minutes to go." Feels like we're on top here, but anything can change. Still got 2 subs that we can use, but yeah, looks like maybe we're just seeing the match die out here. Here's Xerxes, Neves to Delict, Maguire. Here's Shaw. There's 5 minutes of added time, so this is definitely a highlight. Over the top it goes. Here's Dalot, and it's Balotelli. Yes, excellent goal. Putting him as a poacher. Felt like that was coming there. Dalot brilliant on that right-hand side. And, I mean, this is exactly what I wanted. A bit more danger up top. And even though Balotelli and whoever number 19 is that Xerxes? They're sort of on top of each other. It seems to have worked out. Oh, no, 19 is Mbumo, who's picked up a minor injury by the looks of that. Yes, okay, very good. 3-0 victory there. And what can you say? I mean, I just chalk and cheese those 2 performances with exactly the same tactic. There was no tweaking done at all. I think maybe the Crystal Palace one, just nobody turned up. Oh, that's a tough one. So Mbumo, he is going to be out for 2 to 4 weeks now. We'll praise Dalot's performance because he played really, really well. So, yeah, it's an interesting career at the moment. We're very much inconsistent, I think, is the word. We're winning 1 in every sort of 4 matches at the moment, which isn't good enough to be a Manchester United manager. But hopefully we're turning a bit of a corner in terms of performance. We're certainly conceding far less goals. I think that is a massive step forward. You know, when you look from the Chelsea game backwards, we were just conceding goals willy-nilly. Since the Brentford game, we haven't conceded that many. Okay, our goals have also dried up. This is the first time we've scored 3 goals in a match since that Brentford game. Maybe it can lead to more consistency going forward. It's risky. It is very, very risky. Let's have a little look then at our league table. Where are we at the moment? We're in 9th, which isn't a million miles off where we should be. West Ham are up in 5th at the moment. They're the team that we are chasing down. 7 points behind at the moment. We want to finish, top 6 at least to get Europa League. Top 5 would be brilliant to have that chance of Champions League football. Have Newcastle appointed a manager yet? No, they haven't. And I wouldn't know any way to check whether they're in negotiations at the minute with one. Brentford are in the bottom 3 at the minute. Wolves are in the bottom 3. We're still too close to the relegation zone for my liking. We're very much in mid-table form. We are in mid-table in the league. And fingers crossed we can push on going forward. So I guess I will continue to play Wolves, Bournemouth and maybe Aston Villa as well. Play those 3 matches and then come back for that big match against Newcastle next time out. So if you have enjoyed that, then give it a massive thumbs up down below. Subscribe for plenty more Football Manager videos. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching and goodbye.